Hi, welcome to lesson number 3, tariffs. Reverse engineer. Say, what's a reverse engineering? Reverse engineering is when we're trying to work backwards. I mean, right here. When we are trying to work backwards, we call it reverse engineering. So remember, lesson number 1 and lesson number 2, we're doing the traditional way of doing tariffs. We were given the units that have been used. So this person has used 7 kiloliters, or this person has used 100 kilowatts of electricity. How much should they pay? See, this is the traditional way of solving tariffs. But now things change. We are no longer given the units. Now we are given the price. And the question is, for this price, how much units are they eligible for? How much units have they used or they will be able to use? We call this working backwards. It's called reverse engineering. So, done with the terminology. This is challenging, like I said, and I'm going to be honest with you. The reason why I have to be honest with you is so that you know that you need to put even more practice. There is no way on earth you can watch this video, and having watched this video, you think now you can reverse engineer tariffs, all kinds of tariffs. There is no way. You have to go out there and you have to put even more practice. You have to even find more question papers that have such questions, and you have to work on them. This will give you the basics. This will allow you to have the basic understanding of how you're supposed to do it. And having that basic understanding, you have to also go and put even much more practice. This is by far the most challenging question, mathematical literacy paper 1. I would not be lying to you. Of course, people are different. Other people are challenged by other things. But let's crack it. Let's make it simple by doing the basic things. So we have 2.1.1. So as you can see, this is an invoice. So this particular household, this particular individual, they purchased electricity, or they purchased units. See? Units not given, but the amount is given. This is where working backwards come in. But now we know that electricity has VAT. So you can see that electricity was bought. The actual amount for electricity, or the VAT exclusive, this is the VAT exclusive amount, or this is the original amount of electricity. It's 1,130.43. They want us to calculate the VAT. After adding the VAT, when now it's VAT inclusive, it has become 1,300. So you can solve that. Okay, first of all, the meter number is here. You can write the meter number. To solve for B, it is as simple as I told you. You are solving VAT 15%. It's more like you're solving the VAT amount. What did I say by solving the VAT amount? I said that you take the VAT inclusive, you subtract the VAT exclusive, you will get the VAT amount. I said that on the first, not on the first video, on the video that I said you should watch, which deals with value added tax. So let's quickly do that. So let's come to our calculator and say shift 93 equal to, yes, of course. So if we come here and we say 1,300 and we subtract it by the original amount for 3, we should get the VAT amount. So 1,300 when you subtract by 1,180.43, you should end up with the VAT amount, which is 169.57. There are other ways of doing this. You could have done this other ways, but the answer is supposed to be the same. Now, that's not where we are, because here we are supposed to be reverse engineering things. So that's not where we are. Where are we if that's not where we are? Here. Now I want you to pay attention. We'll be doing a lot of things here. You don't want to miss even a single one. A partial residential electricity tariff table that excludes VAT. This whole table exclude VAT is shown below. Do you remember our steps? Cents or rands? Look at this here. It's rands. We now know that we are dealing with rands, not cents. Number 2, VAT inclusive or VAT exclusive? It's VAT exclusive. Number 3, periods. We actually have just one period. Now, let's deal with these. Blocks are there, as you can tell. We are given this table here, and all these amounts or these rates, they exclude VAT. We are given this invoice here. In this invoice, there is an amount that we should be interested in, and this is this amount. When you are trying to work backwards, the amounts and the rates, they have to be in a similar format. This is what I mean. This amount here does not have VAT. These amounts here also do not have VAT. It's VAT exclusive. It's VAT exclusive. Hence, we are going to use this amount here. We can't use this. Why? This has VAT. If we use what has VAT, we are trying to solve things that do not have VAT, we are going to get a wrong answer. So the first things that you do is to look at the table. Does it include VAT? And look at the amount. Does it include VAT? If the amount includes VAT, the table also has to include VAT. If the table does not include VAT, the amount also has not to include VAT. So, how are we supposed to determine the number of kilowatts units that were purchased using this amount of 1130.43? Well, one thing that we can do, we can start by saying block 1. Here there will be a lot of trial and error. When you are trying to work backwards, there is no way you cannot trial and error. There will be trial and error. And you will see that as we continue, because there is another question also trying to cement the same engineering of tariffs or reverse engineering. In block 1, what are we going to do? We are no longer going to say like the normal thing that we debate. The first thing that we are supposed to do is like what we did before, which is what we would say that 350 minus 0 interval. So let's come to our calculator and say interval is 350. When you subtract 0, what do you get? Obviously you get 150 kilowatts of electricity. You multiply it by the rates. The rates are in rands. Another thing, you see we're given an amount in rands. If this amount was not in rands, maybe it was in cent, we were supposed to change one of them to make sure that they look the same. If this was in rands, this was in cents, it's either we're going to change this to be in cents or this to be in rands so that they look. You cannot solve, you cannot reverse, or you cannot go backwards unless you are using same formats. The same way I said, excluding VAT, excluding VAT. If it's in rands, it also has to be in rands. That's how you can start working. So it's 2.19. Now let's get an answer for this. So multiply by 2.19. The first one says that we are getting 766.5. So since we are getting 766.5, that means that we, as you can see, we are not here yet. We are not here yet. So let's continue and say block number 2. Block number 2. Block number 2 says, now I want you to pay attention here. Block number 2 says that more than 350. There is no way we can know which number we are supposed to use there. So what are we supposed to do? We are going to write this here, somewhere here. I'm going to take the amount which I was given, which is 1130.43. I'm going to subtract 766.5. Why am I doing that? Because I want to see where am I already, or for how many units have I already paid for. So it's 766.5. Now, as you can see, I am remaining with 363.93. Why did I do this? Now I know that I have already paid for this 350 units. So I can put 350 units on the side. 350 units I have already paid for. I paid for these using 766.5. I am not done because I actually bought electricity which is worth 1,130. I need to exhaust all this amount. It's not yet exhausted. How much is remaining? I am remaining with 363.93. You have to keep record of all these steps. This step, and these steps. More like you are having 1, 2, and 3 steps. These are the normal steps, and this is where you're keeping record of how much is remaining, and this is where you're keeping record of how much have you already bought. Step number 2, I said, we cannot know what is more than 350, or we cannot know what amount to use here, so we are not going to be using an interval. Instead, pay attention. Look at what we do for block 2. For block 2, we are going to say the remaining amount. You see why I made this? The remaining amount, which is 363.93, divide by the rate, which is 2.91. How many units do we get for doing that? So it's already here, 363.93. Divide by 2.91. What do we get? We actually get 125 point, let's just round it off to 2 decimal places. Kilowatts. This is not a price, because we took the price, we divided it by the rate, and therefore we got this. These are units, and then we bring them down here. 0.6 kilowatts of electricity. Now, what do we have? So what we can do here, we can simply say plus 350. It says that we have 475.06 rounded off to 2 decimal places kilowatts of electricity. I want you to look at this. What this means is that if you buy electricity that is worth 1,130.43, you are going to actually get 475.06 kilowatts of electricity. How correct is this? Remember, we are reverse. Whenever you are reverse engineering something, you also have to prove that indeed it is like that. How can you prove it? Because now you know what you are saying you are getting. Let's go back and prove it. This question is challenging, but one thing about this question, you can prove whether you are correct or not. Block 1. Block 2. For block 1, okay, we've already done block 1, so let's just repeat. But usually for block 1, we are obviously going to say 350 minus 0. We're going to say 350 kilowatts. We're going to multiply by the rate, which is 2.19. We got the answer, which is 66.5. Block number 2, we said that they say more than 350. So now the interval has been given, because now we have 475.06. So the interval is going to be, remember, we solve the interval vertically. As much as it's 350, but you know in your mind that it is vertically. So for block number 2, we're going to say 475.06. And then you subtract this by 350. What do you get? So it's more like this, subtracting it by 350. You actually get 125.06. We rounded it off to 2 decimal places. We have to multiply it by the rate. The rate is 2.91. What do we get? So we say 125.06, multiplied it by the rate. And now the answer is going to slightly vary because I have rounded off the final answer to 2 decimal places. It's 2.90. It will slightly vary. It's not going to be a big difference. We are getting 363.9. Okay, let me write this here. It's 363.9246. Let's work out whether indeed what we did was accurate. First of all, when we work out, this is the price that we should get. Even if it slightly differs, but it's still the same price that we're supposed to get. We said this is the first price. This is the second price, or this is the second price. 766.5 plus 363.9246. What do we get? Look at that. Look at that. We are indeed getting 1,130.4246. If you round it to two decimal places, it's going to be 130.42. Slightly differ. If I had used the whole amount without rounding it off, I was going to get exactly 43, but now it is 42. Do you see that now you know with certainty that indeed these are the units that you get if you purchase for? So this 7 mark you have to work. You have to work it out, and you also have to prove that it is indeed correct. Let's go to the second one. Now this is the second one. We are still talking about electricity. There are a lot of things that we need to work out here. So we are not going to be solving 4.2.1 or 4.2.2 or 4.2.3. Our interest is here. Look at this. This is where our interest is. This is where we are supposed to reverse engineer to. Let's look at our steps and let's look at the things that we always are looking at. Rands or cents. This one is in rands, but this one on the other hand is in cents. Okay, it's fine. Since we have rands on the left hand side and we have cents on the right hand side. The next question, very inclusive or very exclusive? We are told that, note, all tariffs exclude VAT. So they are VAT exclusive. Number 3, periods. We have 2 periods. We have 2022 to 2023. We have 2023 to 2024. May we kindly look at this question right here? And I know some of you like, but say, why are we not solving from the first? This is the price. This is the price. This is the price right here. And this is what I want you to understand. Most importantly, you can solve one, can tell them that tariffs are rates at which the units or at which your consumption of a particular service has to be paid for, or the rates that you pay for services are rendered. So tariffs, rates you pay for services rendered. There was supposed to be an E here, rendered. So that can be telephone, that could be electricity, that could be water. Determine the number of kilowatts allocation in block 3. And now we are solving it. This is block 3. Block 3, the kilowatts allocation for block 3, it's whereby you have to say 650 minus 101, yes. And then calculate a tariff including VAT for block 1. So for block 1, obviously in rands, it's for 2023 and 2024. You're going to use this one. But then you are going to say that it's for block 1. It's for block 1. The reason why I'm going through it quickly is because this is not what we are here for. So for block 1, 100 minus 0 is you get 100. You don't multiply by this. This is not where we are. We are here 2024. You multiply it by 270.33. Remember, it's in cents. So when you get the answer, you have to divide it by 100 so that you can get the actual answer, which is in rands. Are you happy now? Yes, you are. Satisfied. Now, to the main star of the dish. In June 2024, important. Why? Because this is already telling us where our focus will be. Our focus will be here, it will be here, it will be here. It will be 2023 to 2024. Sam spent. This is the amount that Sam spent purchasing electricity, and it was including VAT. It was including VAT. Calculate the number of units, reverse engineering, of electricity he used for that month. If he paid so much, exactly how many units of electricity did you use? We are reverse engineering. I said when you are reverse engineering, let me write this here. when we are working backwards, there are things which need to be the same. That is, VAT needs to be the same. And also what? The amount or the amount has also to be the same. I'll explain what I mean so that it makes sense. When I say VAT has to be the same, if it's VAT inclusive on the price, on the purchasing price. So let me say purchasing price. If it's VAT inclusive on the purchasing price, then it also has to be VAT inclusive on the rating price. So the rates of price, which are these ones, they have to be like, if it's VAT exclusive for the purchasing price, then also the rates of price, they also have to be VAT exclusive. Amounts have to be the same. If it's cents for the purchasing price, it also has to be cents for the what? For the rates of price. If it's rands for the purchasing price, then it also has to be rands. Yes, rands for the rates of prices. That's what I'm saying. We have VAT inclusive, we have VAT exclusive. This is not going to work. We have rands, we have cents. This is not going to work. This is what should fix. This is what we should fix first so that they all look the same. Now, the first thing that we are going to fix is this. Bear with me. This is VAT inclusive. This is VAT exclusive. Let's make this amount to be VAT exclusive as well. Let's make this amount to be VAT exclusive. How do we do that? Well, we are going to say that, okay, green, go rest. Been working hard. We're going to say 1,941.42. We are taking out VAT, the decimal way, 1.15. What answer do we get? So 1,041.42. You divide it by 115. You actually get that if you make the amount to be VAT exclusive, it becomes 1,688.19. We will round it off to 2 decimal places. Now, we could have still gotten the same amount even if we use the fractional form. We don't want to leave anyone behind. We don't want to leave anyone behind. We don't want to leave anyone behind. See? 1,688.191304. So we have done that. So now the purchasing price, this is what I was talking about. See, the purchasing price is now VAT exclusive. The rates of price, they are also VAT exclusive. Now we can start working. Number one, we are correct. The amount, is the amount the same? Let's check the amounts. These are in cents. This is in rands. This is in rands. These are in cents. We have to fix it. There are 2 ways in which you can fix this. It's either you can change the purchasing price to be in cents, or you can change the rates of tax to be in rand. Now that's a lot of work that you have to do here. As you can see, we have even 4. So don't do that. How can you solve it and make it simple? Just change the purchasing price to be in cents. How do we do that? I have told you before. If you want to change 1,688.19 to be in cents, we supposed to multiply it, not divide. Multiply it by 100. We're only dividing if we are going to rands. So because it's already here on the calculator, let's just simply say by 100. We get that it becomes 168,819.1304 cents. See, we have actually acquired marks. We haven't even started solving, but we are actually we are gathering marks. We are working towards it. Now the amounts are the same. The VAT is the same. Can we start working now? I mean, we've been waiting all this long. Yes. Now we can start working. Yes, let's start working. Let's have a goal to start working. The first thing that we are going to do, when we are going to start working here is we are going to use block number 1. So it's block number 1. So let me do it here. So let me say block 1. Block 1 says that 100 minus 0. What does that give us? 100 minus 0, it gives us 100 kilowatts. We'll multiply it by the rate. Is it this rate? No, it's this rate on the other side because it's 2024. So it's 270.33. Interval, rate, answer. What's the rate? The rate is 27. Remember, the rate is in cents. Don't forget that. So hence we are getting a very large amount. I'll put a C here so that you can remember that is in cents. Remember what I did before? I had 3 steps. I had step number 1 whereby I was dealing with these. I had step number 2 whereby I was keeping the record of how much is remaining. And I also had step number 3. I'll put it somewhere here where I'm going to keep record of how many have I consumed or how many units have I used already or have I gotten for that particular price. So here, I'm going to come here and say 168,819.1304 minus 27,033. What do I get? Let me put it here. What do I get? 168,819.1304. Okay, this is 04. When you subtract 27,033, you actually remain with 141,786.1304 cents. Still a long way to go. So already we have purchased 100 units. Okay, I think here it will be step number 3. Already we have purchased 100 units. Let's continue. Step B. Okay, block 2. What am I saying? Step B. Again, you know by now, it has to be vertical. It's not whole. So it's not 400 minus 101. It's 400 minus 100. So it's 400 minus 100. What do we get for that? So when we say 400 minus 100, we get 300. 300 kilowatts. Multiply. So it's interval multiplied by 2. Okay, it's not 2. Is it 2? It's 3. We are here. It's 316.37. What is the answer? It's 316.37. We actually get 94.9. And someone might be asking, but say, how do you know or where do you know when to stop? You will know when to stop when you see that you have actually attempted to do a step and the price that you're getting is actually bigger than the amount that is remaining. So if, let's say, this step has given us an amount which 150,000, we would know that no, that means we are not supposed to do that step. Last step is where you have to divide. If you do a step and you actually get a bigger price than what is remaining, you are instead supposed to take that bigger price that is remaining, you divide it by the rates, and then you get the units. You will see it when we finish up here. So again, so we know that for block B, now this is what has happened. 141,786.1304. we minus 94,911. What do we get? So we have 141,786.1304. When we minus a 949, we actually get a 46,875.1304. Now we have bought, what was this for step 2? It was 300 plus 300 kilowatts. See, have to keep record of all these steps. Now, let's say block number 3. So block 3. Block number 3. This is what I was saying. Now look at this. Let's do it so you can understand. Already I understand that we're going to get an amount that is bigger than this. But for the purposes of this, so that your foundation is very strong, let's do this. We are not going to say 650 minus 401. No, we are going to say 650 minus 400. What do we get when we say 650 minus 400? We actually get 250 kilowatts. We have to multiply that by the rate. The rate is 344.67. The rate is 344.67. You see, we are actually getting 86,167.5 cents. This is where you know this amount is bigger than the remaining amount. That means you were not supposed to do the last step like this, because it shows you that you have actually exceeded the amount. So block 3, this is what you are supposed to do. For block 3, this is where trial and error comes to be. See, so for block 3, we're supposed to take the remaining amount like we did previously, which is 46,875. 46,875.1304 and divide by the rates in block 3, which is 344.67, and let's see what you get. So for block 3, we're not supposed to come here. We're not supposed to come here. 46,875.1304 divide by 344 point. Okay, this is 136. Okay, this is just 136 kilowatts. Whenever we are taking our price, we are dividing it by the rates, we get the units. Yes, the units. So we can also come here and add these units, 136 kilowatts. And let's see what do we get. So we have 100 at first, plus 300 secondly, and then 136 at last. It actually tells us that if we paid an amount of 1,941.42 including VAT to purchase electricity, we were actually going to get 536 kilowatts of electricity. Is this true? Is it? Is it? How about a blue to close things off? How about a blue to close things off? Let's go and prove it. Now, how do we prove it? First of all, we do the traditional way of things. 536, where does it fall? 536 is going to fall at block number 3. We know with confidence this is where we're going to end. We cancel this. We can't use this. What do we want to use? We want to use, let me write it here, 536. I know the blue is not quite as visible. So, B1, remember so we have done number 1 and number 2. So for those ones, I will just repeat exactly what we did because we have done number 1 and number 2. Number 1 and number 2 we have done. And what have we gotten? Yes. And number 2 also, it was 400 minus 100, which gave us 300 kilowatts of electricity. We multiply by the rate 0.37 and we got 94.911 cents. So for number 3, which we have done indirectly, or we have done in a different way, we have to do it. So it will not going to be 650 minus 401. No, we have cancelled 650. It's going to be 536 minus what is at the top, because it's a vertical way of doing things, minus 400. What do we get? So let's go to our calculator. 536. We get 136 kilowatts of electricity. Multiply, after solving the interval, multiply by the rate. The rate is 344.67. It's this one for block 3. Therefore, what do we get? Multiply by 344.67. We actually get 46,875.12 cents. Let's prove. The amount that we are going to get here when we add all these, it should equal this amount that we got at first. Where is the amount? This is in rands. It's not supposed to be in rands. It's supposed to be this one. So let's prove that. 27,033 plus 94,911 plus 46,875.12. See, I know there's a slight variation. Because we rounded things off, there's going to be a slight variation, but come on. 168, 168, 819, 819, it's 0.13, it's 0.12. But you walk out knowing that this 8 marks is yours. Reverse engineering, is it challenging? Yes. What's the advantage? After having done your steps, you can go back and verify whether they are correct using the normal way of tax or the normal way of tariffs, because you have been taught that. So yeah, thank you. Well, keep well. Go and practice, by the way.